Welcome to PsyberSpace. I'm your host, Leslie Poston, a business strategist and research psychologist. Today, as we navigate through one of the most volatile elections in United States history, I wanted to dig into coping strategies that foster resilience and understanding, drawing on recent scientific research. Hopefully, this episode will offer evergreen advice that is useful long past this week, but I wanted to make something to help you get through. Today, we'll explore how beliefs, communal coping, and practices like mindfulness can help us maintain our composure and strengthen our relationships during periods of heightened stress and uncertainty. Beyond just understanding these strategies, we'll also explore practical ways to implement strategies like these in your daily life. Whether you're feeling overwhelmed by world events, struggling with workplace stress as we all try to work through what is effectively a slow-moving apocalypse, or trying to maintain important relationships during difficult times, hopefully you'll find actionable steps to help you stay grounded and resilient. In times like these, where nothing is normal, our coping mechanisms become essential survival tools. Recent research has revealed fascinating insights into how different individuals manage stress and anxiety. A compelling study by Farias and colleagues from 2013 found that secular individuals often turn to science as a form of faith to cope with stress. This finding suggests that our belief systems, whether spiritual or secular, play a vital role in how we process and manage uncertainty. But belief alone is not enough. A comprehensive 2020 study by Polizzi and colleagues emphasized the effectiveness of specific strategies like mindfulness and acceptance-based coping during crises. Their research, which they conducted during the early part of the COVID-19 pandemic, showed that these approaches not only reduce anxiety, but also build lasting resilience. What's particularly interesting is how positive emotions play a dual role in this process. Gloria and Steinhardt's 2016 research demonstrated that positive emotions enhance resilience both directly and indirectly through adaptive coping strategies. This means that when we actively cultivate positive emotions, we're not just feeling better in the moment, we're actually building our capacity to handle future challenges. If you are a person who has a spiritual practice already, like yoga or meditation, or if you are a person of religious faith, you may already have a mindfulness toolkit that goes along with that. If you're more scientific, to put these insights into practice, consider starting with a simple science and mindfulness toolkit. For example, identify a scientific concept that brings you comfort. It might be understanding the vastness of the cosmos, the precision of mathematics, or the elegance of evolution. Fisher's research suggests that having a framework for understanding the world can provide stability during uncertainty. Once you have that, build your daily mindfulness practice starting with thinking about it for just 5 minutes. According to Polizzi's findings, even brief mindfulness sessions like this can begin building resilience. Remember that consistency matters more than duration. Traditional meditation is not the only path to mindfulness. Stephan and Bartlett's research shows that activities like mindful walking, conscious breathing during daily tasks, or even a mindful observation in nature can be equally effective. The key is finding a practice that resonates with your personal style and your personal beliefs that can be sustainably maintained during a stressful period. Understanding how stress affects us is critical for developing effective coping strategies. Recent research by Fisher and colleagues in 2020 revealed that self-guided interventions, including cognitive behavioral approaches and positive psychology techniques, show measurable effects in reducing anxiety and depression. These findings are particularly relevant for those seeking practical, accessible ways to manage their stress. Bonanno and colleagues' 2015 research provides a framework for understanding psychological resilience that considers 4 key elements: baseline functioning, adverse circumstances, resilient outcomes, and outcome predictors. This comprehensive approach helps us better understand not just how to survive difficult times, but how to maintain our fundamental well-being throughout them. The research also highlights an important point about resilience. It's not just about enduring stress, but about moderating its effects on our mental health. Gloria and Steinhardt's study found that resilience can significantly moderate the impact of stress on anxiety and depressive symptoms. This suggests that building resilience isn't just about getting through tough times, it's about maintaining our mental health during those periods. Biofeedback and psychotherapy approaches have also shown promise in building stress resilience, according to Stephan and Bartlett's 2022 research. These tools give us concrete ways to understand and manage our body's response to stress, making them valuable additions to our coping toolkit. Understanding your personal stress response patterns is necessary for building resilience. Consider keeping a simple stress diary, noting not just what triggers your stress, but how your physical body is responding. Bonanno's research indicates that this self-awareness can help you identify your resilience patterns and adapt your coping strategies accordingly. Some people find their stress manifest physically through tension or fatigue, while others experience it more emotionally through irritability or anxiety. Recognizing your unique pattern is the first step to managing it effectively. Another powerful tool from Gloria and Steinhardt's research is the practice of resilience banking, actively building up positive experiences and coping strategies during calmer times so that you have resources to draw upon during more challenging periods. This might involve developing a regular exercise routine, strengthening your social connections, or learning new stress management techniques before you urgently need them. One of the most challenging aspects of turbulent times is their impact on our relationships. Research by Afifi and colleagues in 2020 revealed how ideological differences can increase stress and conflict while decreasing communal orientation and relationship maintenance. However, and this is crucial, their research also showed that ongoing relationship maintenance can mitigate these negative effects, provided that the conflict is not causing you physical harm. Chopik and Model's 2016 study found that living in politically incongruent environments is associated with difficulty forming close relationships and lower perspective taking. But rather than viewing this as an insurmountable obstacle, we can see it as an opportunity to develop stronger communication skills and deeper understanding. The quality of conflict management in your relationships matters significantly. Lorson and Hafen's research showed that the consequences of conflict depend on its frequency, its management, and the relationship's overall quality. This suggests that it's not the presence of disagreement that determines relationship outcomes, but how we handle those differences. A practical approach to maintaining relationships during turbulent times is what Afifi's research calls intentional dialogue. This involves setting aside dedicated time for meaningful conversations with loved ones, especially those with different viewpoints. The key is to establish ground rules that prioritize understanding over agreement. For example, you might agree to use "I feel" statements instead of accusatory language, or to take regular breaks if discussions become heated. Consider creating what Chopik and Model called neutral zones, activities or spaces where differences are temporarily set aside in favor of shared experiences. This could be cooking together, engaging in a shared hobby, or participating in community service. These shared experiences build relational resilience that can help weather ideological differences. As a researcher who is also a white woman, I felt this next section very important to include, because the impact of turbulent times is not felt equally across society. Research by Flett and Zangana in 2020 demonstrated that feelings of mattering and social connectedness are vital psychological resources during crisis. This is particularly important for marginalized communities who often face disproportionate challenges. Ziondu's 2022 research, along with Lund's 2020 showed that racial ethnic minorities, LGBTQ+ individuals, and people with disabilities face unique challenges in maintaining their social support networks and mental health during difficult times. Their research emphasizes the need for targeted support and understanding. Osbey and colleagues' research revealed that social support is needed for maintaining both physical and psychological health, potentially moderating genetic and environmental vulnerabilities. This underscores why building and maintaining strong support networks is not just helpful, it's essential for our well-being. Practical allyship, or what I would rather say is being a good accomplice during turbulent times, involves what Zai and Du call active support networking. This means not just being available to marginalized communities, but actively creating spaces and opportunities for genuine connection and support. This could involve regular check-ins, facilitating resource-sharing networks, joining a resource-sharing network that already exists that is run by one of these communities, or creating accessible community gatherings that include all of your neighbors and colleagues and that account for different needs and abilities. Remember that support looks different for different communities. Lund's research emphasizes the importance of culturally competent assistance. This might mean educating yourself about specific community needs, connecting people with culturally appropriate resources, or simply acknowledging that you don't have all the answers, but you're committing to helping. The key is to listen more than you speak and follow the lead of those you're trying to support. If you're increasingly burnt out trying to focus on work during a time of upheaval, I get it. The impact of turbulent times extends significantly into our professional lives. Stephan and Bartlett's 2022 research identified specific strategies for building workplace resilience, including balancing life demands, increasing awareness, and engaging in flexible coping. These approaches help maintain productivity while protecting your mental health, since we do live in a capitalistic society. But productivity is not the end-all be-all. Recent studies by Ballard and colleagues in 2022, along with Ford and Feinberg's 2020 research, have shown that successful coping often involves a combination of self-care, civic action, and emotional regulation. This multifaceted approach helps us maintain our professional effectiveness while acknowledging the reality of our emotional responses to stress. If you're a boss having to manage through external stressors, the research has some help for you too. Research by Rosen in 2013 revealed a fascinating connection between personal grounding and leadership capacity. This finding suggests that our ability to lead effectively, whether in our professional lives or our communities, starts with our own emotional stability and self-awareness. Wheatley's 2002 research emphasized that leadership during turbulent times requires more than just management skills. It involves helping others find meaning and addressing deeper spiritual questions. This spiritual component doesn't necessarily mean religion. Rather, it's about connecting with our values and helping others to do the same. For those managing workplace stress, Stephan and Bartlett suggest creating what they call stress boundaries, clear delineations between work and personal life that become especially important during turbulent times. This might mean setting specific work hours and sticking to them, creating a dedicated workspace, or developing a transition ritual to help you shift between professional and personal time. For leaders, Wheatley's research suggests implementing regular meaning check-ins with the team, not a traditional status meeting, not a discussion of productivity, but rather opportunities to discuss how external events might be affecting team members and to collaboratively develop support strategies. The key is creating a safe space where people feel comfortable expressing concerns without fear of professional consequences. Consider establishing what Gibson calls resilience routines in your workplace. These are regular practices that help maintain team cohesion and individual well-being. An example might include starting a meeting with a brief wellness check-in, scheduling regular breaks for physical movement, or creating informal spaces for team members to connect about non-work topics. Jones and colleagues' 2023 research revealed that communal coping can significantly mitigate stress and improve relationship quality over time. This finding is particularly relevant as we think about building stronger and more resilient communities. Kwasniak and Sanderman's 2020 study emphasized understanding stress as a dynamic process, suggesting that our approach to stress management needs to be equally dynamic and adaptable. This means developing attitudes and strategies that can evolve as a circumstance changes. Leap and Thompson's 2018 research highlighted the vital roles that social solidarity and collective identity play in community resilience. This connects directly to Gil Rivas and Kilmer's 2016 findings about building community capacity through collaboration, social justice, and empowerment. Wilson and colleagues' 2020 research emphasized that strengthening communities during crisis is essential for mutual support. This is particularly relevant as Gibson's 2020 study showed how organizations can implement specific practices to counteract isolation and promote meaningful connections during turbulent times. Zoutra and colleagues' 2010 research provided a comprehensive framework for understanding resilience, showing how it promotes well-being through three key mechanisms: recovery, sustainability, and growth. This suggests that building resilience communities is not just about bouncing back from adversity, it's about creating sustainable systems that allow for continuous growth and continuous adaptation, meeting people where they are and helping them grow and be better. Building community resilience also involves what Gil Rivas and Kilmer called preventive strengthening, developing community resources and connections before they're urgently needed. This might involve creating neighborhood support networks, establishing community emergency response teams, or developing shared communication systems that can be activated during times of crisis. Practical steps might include organizing regular community gatherings, creating resource-sharing networks, or establishing mutual aid systems. Wilson's research shows that communities with strong pre-existing connections are better equipped to handle crises when they arise. Consider starting small. Even a neighborhood group chat or regular community coffee meeting can lay the groundwork for stronger connections. Recent research has revealed compelling evidence about the benefits of community involvement. Spear and colleagues' 2021 study found that participation in community organizing and civic activities leads to increased psychological empowerment and stronger civic engagement. This suggests that getting involved in our communities is not just good for society, good for our personal well-being too. Stein and Galea's 2020 research, along with Panzer's 2020 study, documented numerous health benefits associated with volunteering, including reduced mortality, improved self-rated health, and better cognitive functioning. Dolan and colleagues in 2021 found that active volunteers report significantly higher life satisfaction and feelings of worthwhileness. What's particularly interesting is Ackman and Willen's 2020 finding that pro-social behaviors such as charitable giving and volunteering can actively promote positive emotions and happiness, especially when they satisfy our basic psychological needs. The benefits of community engagement extend beyond the immediate impact of volunteering or civic participation. Spear's research reveals that engaged community members develop what they call civic efficacy, a growing sense of their ability to create positive change. This confidence often spreads to other areas of life, creating a positive feedback loop of engagement and empowerment. To start your own engagement journey, consider what Dolan calls the micro-volunteering approach, starting with small, manageable commitments that can grow over time. This might mean spending an hour at a local food bank, participating in a community cleanup day, or offering your professional skills to a local nonprofit. Heck, many of you probably did this if you sent postcards or engaged in a phone bank for either party leading up to this election. The key is finding opportunities that align with your interests and available time while meeting genuine community needs. Remember, staying grounded during turbulent times is not about achieving perfection. It's about building sustainable practices that help us navigate uncertainty while maintaining our connections to ourselves and others. This could be something as simple as wearing a mask when you're in a crowded space, or on public transportation to help the immunocompromised among us, sending postcards for your political party, or walking the neighbor's dog or meeting your community and joining your local food bank. The research we've discussed today offers not just hope, but practical pathways forward. Whether you're focusing on personal resilience, strengthening your relationships, supporting others, or building community connections, every small step contributes to our collective ability to weather challenging times. The beauty of these approaches is that they work together synergistically. As you build personal resilience, you become better equipped to support others. As you strengthen community connections, you enhance your own support network. As you engage in meaningful action, you contribute to collective resilience while boosting your own well-being. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Cyberspace. I'm your host, Leslie Poston, signing off. As we continue to face these turbulent times, let's remember the strength found in knowledge, community, and mindfulness. Until next time, stay supportive, stay grounded, stay involved, and most importantly, stay curious. On an end note, if you find that in your relationship it is not safe for you to invoke some of the practices we discussed here, I would like to encourage you to call your local domestic violence hotline. Until next time.